Welcome back to Plantoria Gardening. You wake up early in the morning in July, walk out to your garden with your coffee, feeling good about the season, and you find your tomato leaves chewed to the skeleton. Aphids marching up your pepper stems like they own the place. And that squash you started from seed back in April, the one you watered by hand for weeks, flat on the soil overnight, stems severed at the base. You grab the spray bottle, same thing you did last year. 2 weeks later, they are back. Every season, same war, same weapons, somehow still losing ground. Here is what changed everything for me. Amish farming communities in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, have been growing food on the same land for over 300 years. No synthetic pesticides. Not one bottle in 3 centuries. And their gardens consistently produced some of the healthiest, least damaged crops in the entire region. Stay to the very end, because the last thing I share is a forgotten Amish technique for protecting young transplants that appears in no modern gardening book, costs nothing, and nearly eliminated my transplant losses entirely. The Amish work from a principle called Gelassenheit, a German word meaning yielding to the natural order. Every time you spray, even an organic spray, you kill the ladybugs, the lacewings, the parasitic wasps, the ground beetles, the creatures already controlling your pest problem for free. You wipe out the problem and the solution at the same time. Build a garden that supports the full system, and the system manages itself. Here is exactly how. Ranked from good to the best. Step 1. The kitchen spray. For moments when pest pressure runs heavy, the Amish reach into the kitchen, not the shed. Chop 4 to 5 garlic cloves and 2 hot peppers. Cayenne works perfectly. Add them to 1 quart of warm water and steep overnight, at least 12 hours. Strain through cheesecloth into a spray bottle. Add 1 teaspoon of plain liquid dish soap and apply directly onto affected plants, focusing on the undersides of leaves. Early morning or late evening only, never midday sun. The soap causes leaf burn in intense heat. 1 application holds 5 to 7 days. Reapply after rain. This makes your plants smell and taste hostile. The insects move on. It is the backup plan in this system. Always effective, always available. But it is still reactive. You are responding after the problem shows up, which is why the steps ahead matter more. Zones 8 through 10. Reapply every 4 to 5 days during wet stretches, since rain washes it off faster. Step 2. The morning walk. This is where you move from reacting to staying ahead. Every Amish gardener in Lancaster County describes the morning walk as ordinary as breakfast. 15 minutes every morning, a bucket of soapy water in hand, moving through every row. Most serious pest damage does not come from one bug. It comes from a small population left alone until it exploded. A single hornworm strips an entire branch in 48 hours. A pair of squash bugs lays hundreds of eggs in a week. The morning walk catches the problem when it is still 2 bugs instead of 200. For tomatoes, look for dark droppings on lower leaves, a signal hornworms are feeding above before you spot them. For squash and cucumbers, flip leaves and scrape bronze egg clusters off with your thumbnail into the bucket. For brassicas, watch for small green caterpillars pressed against stems and white moths hovering nearby laying eggs. The limitation is simple. It depends on you showing up every day. Miss a week, and the problem is already ahead of you. Zones 3 through 5. 1 week of unchecked damage in a short season cost you proportionally far more than anywhere else. Zones 9 and 10. Pest populations build year-round, so the morning walk belongs in your routine every active month. If this is the kind of gardening content you have been looking for, rooted in history, built around systems that actually work, subscribe right now. There is a lot more coming. Have you ever tried daily garden scouting? Tell me in the comments how it changed things, or if this is the first time hearing about it. Step 3. Trap cropping. Now the garden starts doing the work for you. Instead of driving insects away, you invite them and send them to the wrong address. Nasturtiums draw aphids far more powerfully than your beans, peppers, or tomatoes ever will. Plant them in a ring around the outside of your garden, 6 to 8 inches apart. Aphids pile onto the nasturtiums and leave your main crops alone. Then let your ladybug population come feast. The system feeds itself. For flea beetles on eggplant or young brassicas, plant radishes 2 feet in front of your main planting. Flea beetles hit radish leaves first, every single time. Sacrifice the tops. Protect the eggplant. For squash vine borers and cucumber beetles, plant 2 or 3 blue Hubbard squash at the far corners of your garden. These pests find blue Hubbard irresistible and pull completely away from everything else. It is a decoy doing its job perfectly by getting destroyed. Trap cropping redirects pest traffic beautifully, but the next 2 steps go much further. Step 4. Companion planting most garden insects. Locate their target plants by following chemical scent signals. Aphids, hornworms, cabbage moths, cucumber beetles. They all navigate by smell. Surround those plants with strong-smelling companions and you create olfactory confusion. The pest follows the scent trail, hits a wall of basil and marigold and dill, and cannot locate what it came for. It moves on without ever touching your crop. For every 3 to 4 tomato plants, place 1 basil plant 8 to 10 inches from the base. Repels aphids, whiteflies, and hornworms. Between rows of cabbage, broccoli, or kale, plant dill or cilantro every 12 to 14 inches. Pushes cabbage moths away, and when it flowers, pulls in parasitic wasps that hunt caterpillars. Along bed borders, plant French marigolds 10 to 12 inches apart. Their roots suppress root knot nematodes, while their scent above ground deters whiteflies and squash bugs simultaneously. This step costs almost nothing after the first planting and gets stronger every season. Zones 8 through 10. Swap cilantro for summer savory since cilantro bolts fast in that heat. Zones 3 through 5. Start basil indoors 4 weeks before last frost so transplants go in the same day your tomatoes do. Which of your crops gets hit the hardest every year? Drop it in the comments. Tomatoes, squash, cabbage, peppers, and I will tell you exactly which companion combination stops it. Step 5. Building your beneficial insect army. This step turns your garden into a self-regulating ecosystem that works around the clock without you. 1 ladybug eats up to 50 aphids per day. 1 lacewing larva eliminates 200 aphids in its lifetime. Parasitic wasps lay eggs inside hornworms and kill them from the inside out. Ground beetles patrol the soil at night, eating slugs, cutworms, and grubs. These insects work for free, but only if your garden gives them somewhere to live. Plant an insectary strip, a dedicated row 2 feet wide along one edge of your garden, filled with sweet alyssum, yarrow, fennel, dill, and Queen Anne's lace. Something must be blooming continuously from early spring through late fall. Sweet alyssum at the front, yarrow and dill alternated behind it at 10 to 12 inch spacing, fennel at the back. Leave one small area nearby intentionally unmowed, a patch of clover, a pile of stones, an old log. A perfectly manicured garden, with bare soil between every row, tells every useful insect there is no room for them. Once this population is established, the pest population never gets a chance to explode because something is always hunting it. Zones 4 through 6. Purchase lacewing eggs or ladybugs early in the season to jumpstart populations, but only after your insectary strip is blooming. Without a food source waiting, they are gone within 24 hours. Subscribe and hit the bell if you want to keep going deeper into the farming traditions that fed entire communities long before synthetic chemistry existed. Every video on this channel is built exactly like this one. Step 6. Soil building. The foundation everything else stands on. Every step above works better when this one is right. Weak soil grows weak plants. Weak plants attract damage the way a wound draws infection. Strong soil grows strong plants, and strong plants handle pest pressure without collapsing. The Amish have understood this as one subject for 300 years. Modern soil science is confirming it. Healthy soil rich in organic matter produces plants with thicker cell walls and higher concentrations of natural defensive compounds. Research from Penn State and Cornell confirms that plants grown in biologically active, compost-amended soil show measurably greater resistance to pest damage and disease. The plants are structurally tougher, not by chance, by chemistry. Every spring, before anything goes in the ground, spread 2 to 3 inches of well-aged compost across your beds and work it into the top 4 to 6 inches. If you can source compost that includes aged horse or cow manure, the way Lancaster County Amish families have done for generations, the microbial diversity it creates is exceptional. Do this every single year, 2 or 3 seasons in, and your plants will be darker, thicker stemmed, and bouncing back from minor pest feeding in ways they never did before. Zones 3 through 5. Get compost down 3 to 4 weeks before your last frost date so soil biology is active before transplanting. Zones 6 through 8. Late winter application gives you a strong head start. Zones 9 and 10. Amend in early January, and your soil will be biologically ready from the first planting day of your season. Get the soil right, and every other step on this list performs at a level that will genuinely surprise you. Now, what I promised you at the very start. When Amish families move young seedlings into the garden, they place a collar around the base of each plant made from a cardboard tube, a toilet paper roll, a paper towel roll cut into sections. Push it 1 inch into the soil, rising 2 inches above the surface. Cutworms move along the soil surface at night and sever young transplant stems right at ground level. They are responsible for more dead seedlings than most gardeners ever correctly identify, because by morning, the cutworm is gone and buried. You find the plant lying flat, stem cut clean, no pest in sight. Most people never connect the cause to the damage. The cardboard collar stops them completely. And here is what makes this so well designed. Cardboard breaks down naturally in 4 to 6 weeks, right when the stem has hardened enough that cutworms can no longer damage it anyway. The protection lasts exactly as long as it is needed, and then disappears into the soil. No plastic, no removal, no cost. Before I started using these, I lost 5 to 8 transplants every spring. 3 seasons since, I have lost almost none. That is the kind of knowledge that does not get sold. It gets passed from one generation to the next, in a community that has been paying close attention to the same soil for 300 years. 300 years. No synthetic chemicals. Gardens that outproduced everything around them season after season. The Amish built that through a kitchen spray for heavy moments. Daily observation that catches problems early. Trap crops that redirect damage away from what matters. Companion planting that confuses pests before they arrive. Beneficial insects patrolling for free. And soil so strong the plants defend themselves from the inside out. Every part of that system is available to you, in whatever zone you garden in, with whatever space you have. You do not need to buy anything. You need to change how you think about what a garden is. Not a collection of plants you are defending, but a living system you are building. Which of these 6 steps are you starting with first? Drop it in the comments right now. And if you have already been doing any of this, tell me how it has gone. I read every single one. If this changed how you think about your garden, subscribe right now and hit the bell. New videos go up every week, and everyone goes exactly this deep. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.